First
on
question:
Good Friday.
Jesus Shuttleworth. No, yeah.
Good Friday. Okay, yes, he did die today. All right. Wow.
Yes,
that was the
dude,
first thing.
Okay, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're just looking up things.
He died for our
You know
sins.
what he's
That's why
saying?
it's Good Friday.
Okay. So Sunday here, so we'll be seeing some Instagram posts today.
Yeah, go follow Jesus on Instagram.
No, you know, people.
People what? All right, there we go. Perfect. Sounds on.
Sounds odd. Oh, this is Nappy Bully Radio Live.
They must tune in at 10:15.
What's the guy's name again? I totally forgot.
Chris Brown?
No.
T-Pain?
No. I said yesterday the guy with the glasses. I'm totally forget his name. King. Larry King.
And this is your CNN morning reports. Good morning, Mama Miriam.
Oh, she's in the chats.
I gotta tell you about this trivia night that happened.
Oh, you do gotta tell me
loved the
because
post.
I want to go. I actually had a lot of homework.
I think we need to find a different trivia night.
There's
Really
one by Lily's place. I don't know if they're still doing it. Her brother-in-law would actually do it. So
He runs the show?
yeah.
All right, I like that. Yes, Aryan. Woo! Aryan you said Lily plans her appointments around here. Aryan plans his bathroom breaks around this.
Aryan the golfer. He's the best golfer in the family. That's a big
quite the
family.
compliment.
It is.
Your big brother just gave you a compliment. I think that's the first time ever I've witnessed that. No, I'm just kidding. I hope your golf season goes well, Aryan. Congratulations, varsity.
I think both
Varsity
teams. He's so good. He plays both teams.
They realize they need him. They need him to look good for both JV
You're
and
right.
varsity.
You're right.
He's attracting.
You're right. The leader in the skill. That's what they need.
Oh, joke's on me. He's not at school.
Oh.
Well, hopefully, All right, yeah.
I was going to say good morning, Mrs. Martin.
Yes. Good morning, Mrs. Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You know, last time we asked her about the weather, it was snowy. So I hope the weather now is a little better
The Dallas.
than it was when you were going around giving tours.
The house tours,
Snowed a
open
lot,
house.
right?
Yep. I remember the Facebook video. She was still doing the houses in the snow, still showing them off. It's 56 in Plano. That's all right.
Oh, good.
It's sunny here as well.
Oh, good. 56 in Plano. Wow, a little warmer here. It's 70 today, or I don't know what it is right now, but it's going to be 70.
We
It's
got
gonna
some
be a high
mics, guys.
70.
We got some old school looking mics. You will never find. Do, 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 do. That's kind of how it is. You can sing. You can
Really?
sing into it.
Nah, I'm not going to.
It's
I'll wait for some
10:05 a.m. Friday, April 2nd. A good Friday. Good Friday to you, Armand.
Friday and a good Friday to you, Marco. We're here at Coffee's On in Lawrence, Kansas.
I got to show you who we got a new like. I've never seen this name come across the screen before.
Okay, that's my, okay, ready?
Yes.
It's great. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day everywhere. That's my Uncle Haji.
Haji, okay.
Yes, my Uncle Haji. It's my mom's uncle.
Ah, okay. So your double uncle.
My double uncle, kind of like Sophie's dad. Double uncle.
There we
You
go.
know, yeah, and
Well, thank you for joining us, Uncle Haji, on this Feel Good Friday. Oh,
Feel
it's
Good
a Good Friday.
Mm.
Hey, text Raj. Where's Raj at, man?
Raj, where you at? Well,
Text-
let's see what happened this week. We weren't here Wednesday, so we're going to be talking some basketball.
Yes, we'll be talking some final four for both the women's and men's. Women's tips off tonight.
Women's tips off tonight.
I was thinking about this last night. The women's tournament.
You're just this is
The
crazy.
women's tournament started later, did it not?
And
But the final four comes first.
exactly, and every year the Final Four is always the day after the men's
So it's
Final
usually the
Four.
Sunday.
Yeah, but this time it's earlier. I'm glad you noticed because
Yeah.
I was really confused.
Talk about things that kept me up last night. That was one thought. I didn't have my laptop on me, but I was just thinking like the math doesn't add up because we get a Monday bracket reveal for the women's basketball, but then the final four games are happening the day before the men's.
I'm getting breaking news.
Uh-oh. Is it your back? No, Paige Buchers is not overrated. I don't think that. That'd be quite the argument.
Self-extension is a lifetime deal.
Wait, what? Which self-storage?
Kansas signs KU basketball Bill Self, head coach. Kansas. So many words I can't say, but Bill Self is going to be the coach of Kansas as long as he wants to be the coach of Kansas. He just signed a lifetime contract this morning. They saw their old coach retired. They know that 3 years ago, Bill Self said he doesn't want to coach in his 60s, and he's going to be 59 next year when his contract ends. So KU said, okay, I don't care about Armand's 12 coach list. Here you go.
Well, I was actually just about to ask you about that, but before we get to that, good morning, Mr. Martin. Good morning, good sir.
Good morning, Mr. Martin. Arian, last show you were saying Paige Beckers was your new crush.
Is it Beckers or Bukers?
I think it's Beckers because I was hearing how they were saying
Hold the
it.
U. Silent on you. I'm assuming you're arguing against the people who are saying she is overrated. So I'm going to correct that because your question, I'm saving him, right? I'm saving him from the mistakes of his older brother. Your question, someone's going to read be like, why does Arian think he's overrated? They're going to pinpoint that on me. I feel like we have to talk about Bill Self now. That was the breaking news. So more details in on the contract. You're wondering, how can someone sign a lifetime deal? Do they just put the infinity sign on the contract where it's next to the blank spot with years? No, but that would be actually pretty cool. What's it called? In the announcement from KU Athletics, it says that that he was set to expire next March, but that contract, the current one, is being replaced with a new 5-year rolling agreement that automatically adds 1 year at the conclusion of each season for the remainder of his contract. So it's a 5-year contract, but it just renews on that final year. So that's what Coach Self has agreed to. A statement from Bill Self himself in the announcement, press release, whatever you want to call it, statement from Bill Self says, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to Chancellor Girard, Kurt Watson, who is the interim AD right now, since the firing of Jeff Long. Never forget, or excuse me, the step down, was it mutual agreement? I can't remember. One of those three.
They always say mutual agreement. That's the politically correct term.
So Kurt Watson and the rest of the leadership at KU for their belief and faith in me to provide this lifetime contract. Every day I am reminded how fortunate I am to lead this storied program, and there truly is no place else I would rather be. End quote. Talk about putting faith into your current men's basketball head coach. And I think you were the one who told me, you've been saying it since I ever met you, Bill Self, he has the keys to the whole athletic department especially when it comes to the men's basketball program.
You want to talk about the university as a whole. I've talked about this to med students, people who graduated from med school. I'd say med school, Kansas basketball are the two biggest things at the University of Kansas. And that person told me, I hate to say it, but basketball is probably bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm talking all across the board, athletics, academics, whatever. Kansas basketball is the biggest part of the university. And if it isn't the biggest, it is undisputed the top two.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's the head coach, especially when it's the head coach for 17 years, kick, move on to score, join the chat in perfect time. Whoever is the head coach for 17 years, winning your first championship in 20 years, the last coach who couldn't win a championship, although I think made it to like three championships, made to a lot of Final Fours too.
There you go.
When you have that type of coach, he is higher than the chancellor. You make sure all the things that could even slightly affect the basketball program, it goes through him. Slightly, even indirectly, in 5 years, we did this we moved budget here to the science department, and then 2 years, we're going to move that here. But then in 5 years, we're going to actually have to sell more tickets. Oh, we got to call him. We got to call our coach. That's what it is. He has the king. He's the king of Lawrence.
Yeah.
You could have said he was the,
he holds the keys.
He's the king of Lawrence. He's the true chancellor. Hands down, the real athletic director. Athletic director's junior athletic director. He's the number one guy. And kick move underscore is correct. He is correct.
What's he correct about?
Mahomes and Bill Self will be Kansas, and that's why I held back on my thought. Until Mahomes came in, granted, he is living on the Missouri side. Until Mahomes came, I think Bill Self was the total king of Kansas. You go 2 hours west, they're going to say, no, that's Bill Snyder. Regardless, it was Bill who is the king of Kansas.
One Bill is.
One Bill. 2 Bill. Mahomes has 500 million. But
500 billion.
500 million, sorry. But, yeah, that's the fact. Regardless of this contract, even before this contract, and I've told you this, and we've talked about it before, Marco, Bill Self will be the coach of the University of Kansas as long as he wants to be the coach of the University of Kansas. Now with this lifetime contract, he's assured of that. And I think he was already assured, but now it's put in pen and paper with a blank check.
Boom.
So that's the fact of the matter.
How do you feel about it as a KU fan?
I love
He's 58 years old. Does that say that erases now all the NBA rumors? Your list that you have, like you said.
Yeah, I had that list, and remember I said NBA.
Throw it away.
You remember I said NBA. I had people tell me, I'm acting like I know a lot of sources. No, I had people tell me that they heard from their top sources, people in the field, saying they thought Bill Self is going to be that Spurs coach, just like Self will be coach of Kansas as long as Kansas wants. Popovich will be coach of Spurs as long as he wants. But when he steps down, the Armon list had Self at number 3, but I still think he was in that top 3. Now with this, I don't know. But and for those who want to for those who might want to take that little piece of what I said, I'm going to make sure you hear everything, every part of it, so I'm not misheard. I do think Becky Hammon and Tim Duncan, I don't know where they rank, it might be in that order, are 1 and 2 for the Spurs job. But I thought Self was 3. So I thought one of those 3 will be the next Spurs coach whenever that happens. I also thought that if Self had ever left, one of those 2 should be in the top 10 for the Kansas basketball head coach. And that person didn't play men's basketball. But that's a fact of the matter. Wow, Arian wants Jordan Foot on stream. Arian's been texting and we haven't, or been messaging and we haven't said some things.
What? Oh, yes.
But anyways, yeah, we had to go on a little Bill Self thing. I know Kickmove_ said, see ya, Roy Williams. I just always thought it was cool. I don't know if we saw this, but when they lost the national championship game to Syracuse, Boeheim's only championship, did you ever watch that locker room interview?
No,
with Roy Williams?
I did not know.
They interview Roy, right?
Okay.
You know how they do with the losing coach, like it's in the little hallways.
Right.
They're interviewing Roy. They're like, okay, sorry, and they ask about North Carolina. He's like, I don't want to talk about. I know your job as a journalist, but I don't want. They talk again. Okay, but are you going to consider it? What does he say? I'll say this here. What does he say? I'm sorry, but I have 12 men in there crying. I don't give a shit about North Carolina. And a week later, he goes to North Carolina.
I mean,
but still, it's right? The story behind that took me a long time to realize, right? You have your basketball father telling you in 99, come to North Carolina and Kickmove_. What does he say? He says no.
He lied.
He says no. Then he asks him twice. So they say when your leader asks you twice, when your guy asks you twice, you can't say no to who used to be the greatest basketball coach in North Carolina, in the state of North Carolina, right? In Dean Smith. You don't say no to him. Just like if Coach K asks someone twice to be the next coach of Duke, because his time's coming up, Kickmove_, just like Boeheim's time is probably going to be coming up real soon. But we already know Duke's next coach in, what's his name, John Shire, right? That's the next coach of Duke, from an uneducated opinion, but he's groomed.
Well, a Duke assistant just got hired.
Don't you ever say that again. That's what happens when you slander Mario Chalmers. I will never forget. You do one slander, Kickmove_, and you're never going to hear the end of it. You're never going to hear the end of it. That's on Kavizan.
Arian, I'll see if we can get Jordan Foot back on before the draft for a pre-draft episode, of course. We'll recap the Chiefs' offseason so far and how it's been. And then, of course, talk about what could happen on that. When is the NFL draft this year? I know it obviously.
2 finals rings. What?
That's on April 29th. All right, perfect. So we'll make sure we get in touch with Jordan for a Chiefs recap, free agency, and then of course draft episode as well. Look,
yeah,
Terrell
we
just
will have a
spamming the
good.
comments.
We will have a good draft episode. I'm sure Kickmove_ is going to be part of it. We might
He's
make
already
a passion
calling it.
pit. No, because I want to. I think it's going to be a good talk. We might do a little mock draft thing here.
What are you owing about? People can't see the comments. We're the only
I'm
ones.
sorry. The comments make me laugh. We still have not answered Arian's comment.
No,
He
that's
said
what I was
something,
saying.
but this is a little, we had to intro in the show.
Well, he said you're-
Godzilla August 23rd.
I have no idea anymore. I just don't know. Arian, I don't know why Armand didn't mention Quidditch. The KU Quidditch team is very respectable here.
It is.
Oh, maybe it's because they kicked him off the field one time.
Those butt faces. I almost threw something.
You gotta tell that story.
I'm glad I came back. No, it's not that big of a story.
No,
but
it's a huge story. They were rude.
They were rude, and I'm glad I went back. They lied to me.
They said.
And
"Is
you
this
know what
your
I
field?"
hate? Kickmove_. I hate liars.
Who's a liar? Liar.
Pets on fire. Okay, should we get into these questions?
What
Okay.
questions?
Paige
Terrell just
Beckers
made
is
comment.
overrated.
No, I don't know too much to say that.
She's not overrated. She's the first freshman to win Women's Naismith Player of the Year
She's the first woman to win women's
as a
Naismith-
freshman.
Oh, as a freshman? Okay, yeah, boom. There you go. That right there. Does that shut down the argument?
Of course.
There you go. There you go, Arian. You had it. That is your answer. She almost had a triple double in the Elite Eight game. As Terrell would say, she's a walking bucket.
She is. She's
not
a
as
walking bucket. You know what other freshman won the men's national player of the year? Zion Williamson. Are you going to say he's overrated? No. Are you going to say Anthony Davis is overrated? No. Are you going to say Kevin Durant is overrated? No. Those are freshmen who won. When you're a freshman and you win national player of the year with people who are 5 years older than you, you're not overrated. Don't even have that in the comments.
That's right, Lily. Do not talk bad about the freshman phenom. I wonder if they can do 1 year and commit to the WNBA draft. I don't know what the NCAA rules are.
I don't know what their rule is, but I think they like staying all 4 years. It seems like they tend to stay all 4 years.
Dawn Staley and Tara Van Der Veer are going to be kicking off the women's Final Four tonight with Stanford and South Carolina.
Okay.
Stanford, the historic program under Coach Tara, who has the most wins in women's basketball. She passed Pat Summitt back in 2020 before the COVID season started.
This is whose team's coach?
This is Stanford's coach.
Stanford's coach. I think they were the overall 1 seed, right?
Yes, they either them or UConn. But
I don't think UConn was. That's why.
But they're going to be bad. It's obviously the 1-versus-1 in the Final Four, the only 1-versus-1 Final Four matchup for the women. I think I'm sticking with Dawn Staley on this one in South Carolina.
No, I think Stanford will get it done. I think Stanford's the overall one. I know very little about it, but you said South Carolina, so I'll say Stanford. But we might agree on the next game. So
yeah, it's number 3 Arizona, who beat Indiana, by the way, in the Elite Eight. Just head coach by Adia Barnes for the Wildcats, and then do we even need to say the coach's name for UConn? Coach Gino.
You don't need to say
No, we know who their coach is. Paige
are you
Bucher's
saying that because we don't know how to say the last name?
Maybe. Oriana.
Do you know Ariema? Ariema?
They messed up his name at one of the championship parades, either last time or the time before they won the national title. So I thought that was kind of funny. Gosh, that was
yeah, you can't be messing up his name.
No. He'll remind you. And Paige Buchers will remind Arian tonight who she is.
Yeah.
when she
Paige
puts on a
Buchers,
show.
Paige Beckers, they're gonna remind all of us how to say her name. She's gonna look in the camera and say Arian. That's what she's gonna say. And Arian's gonna go back to say, "Oh my God, that's my new crush, WandaVision." Thank you, Sahan. Thank you, Sahan. Ariema. We have our English professor, Jeff Southern.
There you go.
He
Arian.
calculates inventory on the weekdays and On his days off, he's the grammar whiz.
Comes up with the
Ariema.
pronunciations.
Thank you.
But no, it's Paige Buckets, if anything.
Paige
'cause
Buckets,
That's what she's
you're
going to
right.
be doing tonight.
She is, but Kick Move underscore was right. She is a walking bucket. I mean, we knew about her. I think we knew about her in high school. I remember seeing all the tweets about her, all that.
Right.
Of course, they're going to wear out that storyline. She's good childhood friends, middle school friends, high school friends with Jalen Suggs. The top player, maybe
Could they
top
be the
3
first
pick.
2 people to? Is Jalen Suggs up for the Naismith Award?
I think they already gave an award to Luke Garza, but I don't know which award.
Maybe it's that one. That's all right.
But I see Gonzaga had
I'm just
so
thinking
many.
if that's the
good-
first time that 2 people from the same high school won the Naismith Award.
Probably. Yeah, Luke Garza already won AP, the Oscar Robertson, NABC, and Sporting News. But there's 2 left, Naismith and Wooden.
The Wooden Award. Who wouldn't want the Wooden Award? You looking up the
Yeah.
candidates for that one? Mhm.
Where'd we get these mics from? Danny wants to know.
Yeah. Shout out to our good friend, in fact, the owner of the StreamYard account, who we share with, Mac Moore, donated these mics. They were some old school mics that he had for a podcast setup. We'll be using these for the Coffee's On, and then of course for our podcast network, which you guys can check out on our Facebook page. We have the Passion Pit episode up there that we talked about Monday, where me and Armand talk about the controversies behind the 2022 World Cup. And of course, we'll have hopefully more podcasts going up there in the near future. We'll have one next week that we did with my one of our friends, Jackie, where we talk about Beyonce, maybe the greatest performer, entertainer. I want to think artist ever to walk this planet.
And
we talk about that and many more. She gives her. She is the if you have a Beyonce question, anything about Beyonce, she is the one to go to. That's why we literally talk about anything on the Passion Pit podcast. So if you guys have something that you are passionate about, slide into our DMs, comment. We can set up an interview with you guys, and if there's something from the 2022 World Cup in sports, or from one of your favorite personalities, entertainers of all time, hers being Beyonce, we will talk about it with you guys, and we will make an episode for it on the Passion Pit. So if there's something that you are passionate about, please let us know, and we will get an interview set up. And hey, and it can be literally anything. As you come to know on this Coffee's On channel, Armand and I, we can talk about. We are willing to talk about just about anything.
As long as you're passionate about it, we'll be passionate about it. And we're the 2 types of people who we find passion in anything. So if it's sports, music, the world, whatever it is, or the intersection of all the above, we'll be talking about it. We'll be loving about it, and you'll be hearing it on the Passion Pit podcast.
Please use us for our podcast. If you ever just wanted to be part of a podcast in general, an episode, come up, bring a topic. Hell, we can come up with one together to talk about, and we will record it right on the spot
today.
Oh my goodness, you crack me up. Yeah, a reminder, happy Good Friday to everybody. But yes, Mac, shout out to Mac Moore for supplying the equipment for us. We also got a mixer as well, so that the podcast can sound a little bit more professional than what it does with the lava mics.
Mm-hmm. So I looked it up. Naismith Player of the Year isn't awarded yet. It was AP Player of the Year that was awarded.
And that was Luka.
Yeah. But for on the men's side, you have Cade Cunningham, Ayo Dosunmu. I never knew how to say his name. From Illinois. Cade, you know where he's from, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Garza from Iowa, and Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. And that's the thing, Gonzaga. They have so many players that you don't know who to award. But on the women's side, they had Dana Evans from Louisville, Ryan Howard from Kentucky. But 2 who we'll see tonight in Paige Buckets Beckers, right?
Yeah.
UConn. But also Aliyah Boston from South Carolina.
Boom.
She leads her team in rebounds and blocks this season. 13 points per game. She's sophomore and has 15 double-doubles. So we'll be seeing her against Stanford.
South Carolina likes the fours. They had Asia Wilson, former number 1 pick in the WNBA draft.
So we'll see how those go. Again, those games are tonight, right?
Yep, tonight.
I know.
First
Larry
one being
wants to watch,
Stanford.
so-
Yeah, first one being Stanford and South Carolina, and the second one being UConn, Arizona.
Ooh. Good games. So we talked about the first Final Four.
Yeah,
Arian, that was his question. Raj still isn't here, but
that's on me. He probably thinks we weren't doing a show.
no, I thought I told him we're doing it Friday, but want to move on to the men's Final Four? Something else caught your eye?
No. Go ahead. We got you. What even is the first game for the men's Final Four? Who is kicking it off first? Are they going to start it with? Who's Baylor playing? I can't think off the top of my head.
Houston. The U of H.
Baylor, Houston, or
That's
Gonzaga?
That's the first game. Tipping off at 4.
So they're giving us Gonzaga, UCLA as the last game. That's fine because that's the 2 West Coast teams. So that makes sense. Baylor going to get to their first NCAA championship ever, or will it be Houston making their first appearance since?
I'm looking at the history sub right now. Since I wish I knew. I think they both have made it before. Houston made it in 83, 84. Houston has had some top players, though, right? In their history.
Yeah, they had Hakeem the Dream.
They had a frat there.
What does that mean?
Phi Slamma Jamma, right? But I think so, though, right? That's not just a joke. I think it was Phi Slamma Jamma because you know who they lost to?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
You know who they lost to?
Yeah, who?
Jimmy V.
Jimmy V.
North Carolina State.
I was going to say, is that their first? Could this be their first national title appearance since then?
I think so, because they were runner-up in 83 and 84.
The Phi Slamma Jamma.
83 and 84. Yeah, Phi Slamma Jamma. Some top players. But that's for Houston. Houston hasn't been in the Final Four since the 80s. They made 3 straight, 82, 83, 84. So it's been a while. But Baylor's been waiting. And we all know Baylor's been waiting. If you're a basketball fan in this area, regardless of your team, you know Baylor's been waiting in the Big 12. They've been knocking on Bill Self's door to kind of knock it down and be the top team. And now they're finally there. People like to say that Scott Drew likes to choke. A lot of people forget that one of the top Cinderella moments from back when we were still being cradled, right? Valparaiso, his brother shot the big shot. His dad was the coach, and now he's taken his team to the Final Four. Baylor's first Final Four since 1950. They made 2, 48 and 50. And both teams, Houston and Baylor, have never won a championship. Houston's been the 2, 83, 84. And Baylor got runner-up in 48. So one of those teams is going to make their first championship game on the men's side because Baylor has one on the women's side in a few decades.
Yes, they do. Big one in this one. Bibbs wants to know, Armand, how hard is it to watch Grimes play at an elite level?
I don't think it's that hard. Here we see. We forgot one team. What was the game? And Bibbs answered it here. And he knows his stuff. Phi Slamma Jamma. It's not that hard. I don't understand if people are like against. I don't know why you would be against him. Grimes, I called him Grimes. Yeah, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
He was a 5-star player. He was supposed to be a top player. For some reason, outside of that first game, it just wasn't here for him, and we don't know why. Was this broken and it didn't seem like it was, or was something wrong here? We don't know. But he had to move on, and we know the legend, Bill Self. One thing you see from his coaching, and if you don't believe me, let's just go through the games. He gets all these top players, but towards the end of the season, once it comes to the last 10 games, he's only going to be messing with eight players at most.
Yep.
And I'm not saying he wasn't messing with Quentin Grimes, but if Quentin Grimes is messing up, if he's not playing to that 5-star caliber, maybe he needs to go somewhere else. And here's the thing about 5 stars. Not every 5-star is not meant to be at a blue blood. Sometimes those things don't match. Look at Johnny Juzang, two blue blood transfers are in the Final Four. He goes to UCLA. Maybe those 5 stars are meant to be the hands down star of their team. So no, to answer your question, it's not hard. I actually would enjoy for him to see him play well. I enjoy to see him, all the transfers who leave KU. I want to see them do well. On the football side, it might hurt a little because I think it's a different story because maybe we didn't know they could play, but on the basketball side, we know they could play. This kid was a 5-star recruit. So I think it was 5-star. Someone's going to fact check me. No, he was 4-star. But he was pretty good. But no, it's not hard to watch him. In fact, I would like to cheer for him.
It's one of the best offensive and defensive matchups going up against each other in this final four game. I'll be very curious because Baylor's game is scoring and Houston's game is keeping their opponents from scoring. Throughout the season, they have surrendered only 55.8 points in this NCAA tournament. And if we remember, they held a pretty hot hand Syracuse team when they beat them. They were very cold from the field. But Baylor has a lot of weapons in their guards, Butler, Teague, and Mitchell. Armand, we like the efficiency stat. Baylor is third in offense efficiency this year, averaging 83 points per game. This is the type of Final Four where this is obviously the best matchup because it's 1 and 2. But man, Gonzaga and Baylor being the offensive teams that they are, Baylor is a historic favorite. I think they're 15-point favorite in their game.
I think that's the other game.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, excuse me. Gonzaga is a 15-point favorite. Excuse me. Gonzaga is the historic favorite
Vegas
in their
favorite,
matchup with a 15-point favorite. So it's going to be very. We'll see what UCLA can do. But as far as this first matchup goes, if Houston can contain Baylor, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to hold them from scoring, or at least keep up with their scoring. And we saw the Cougars score 80 points in this tournament, but in one game, and that was in their first round when they beat Cleveland State pretty handily. So,
and people are gonna say that Houston has played no one this season. I think the stat is they've played one team that has been ranked somewhere in the top 25. Right? I'm looking at KenPom right now, and they've played Texas Tech, who was ranked at number 20, I think, at the Times in terms of KenPom. But that's the only one in the top 25 of KenPom. They played Memphis, who came at 31 and all that. And of course, KenPom is another ranking. What's Baylor ranked at? They're ranked at number 2. Except I'm not going to hold that against Houston because I've said the thing about the NCAA tournament is you just got to be the last one standing sometimes. You don't have to beat all the best teams. Just let everyone else do that for you. Now, Houston is going to get their biggest challenge. I don't know when was the last time they've had this big challenge, but I'm not putting it against them. I don't have a stake in the race. I'm not a big, Baylor wasn't always my favorite team in the Big 12, but, it's good to have a Big 12 representation. That said, I'm not being all over Big 12. We have Quentin Grimes, so at least we have a little KU representation. And thank you, Bibbs. I think that was a genuine compliment about my great soundbite. So Marco will keep that in mind, I'm sure.
What soundbite? I
don't know. I think he said something I said about maybe just my words are flowing today. My words are flowing, right? I was trying to rhyme with that, but I couldn't. But yeah, that's the game. So we talked about the game. Do we give our prediction now? Are we supposed to predict?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Gonzaga and Baylor in the national championship.
We didn't even talk Gonzaga UCLA. Have we talked Gonzaga?
No,
UCLA?
we haven't. But I mean, other than Gonzaga being the historic favorite is a 15-point. Yeah, dang. So I guess that makes UCLA a 15-point dog then, doesn't it?
That's how that works. Good job. So 15-point.
Thanks.
No, you're good.
Was that a genuine compliment?
Yeah. Baylor's a 5-point favorite. Gonzaga 15-14. So UCLA, they've been in the Final Four before. That's no secret. Gonzaga's only been twice, or this is their second Final Four. Last time was 2017, where they lost to Roy Williams, right? His last championship game and his last championship ring. You think UCLA has a chance to make it close?
In the first, let me see what happens in the first 5 minutes, because didn't USC get kind of blown out of the water in their Elite Eight game in the first 2-3 minutes. USC
Yeah,
was
I
kind of
think
out of it.
Gonzaga went
So-
on a run, but the thing with Gonzaga is who's been beating them for 40 minutes. Basketball
Exactly.
is a game of runs, but with Gonzaga, it's a game of 40 minutes.
I think that I don't think that. I mean, UCLA is is such a big underdog for a reason, and at least with Houston, we've seen them. We've seen them as a defensive team. They are a defensive team, but my thing is that they're going to get out. They're going to just either it's going to be neck and neck, and Baylor just kind of outscores in the end, like how wasn't it their Elite Eight game where they won? Where
Who's this?
Baylor was it? Was their
Elite
Elite
Eight.
Eight game against Villanova? Never mind, scratch that. It wasn't that game.
Their Sweet 16 game was against Villanova.
Oh, then who was their Elite Eight game
Their
against?
Elite 8 game was against Arkansas.
Arkansas. That game. That was the game where Baylor had to scratch and claw in the end.
In
the end to get out to pull out a win. And I think we'll see a similar situation there with Houston and Baylor. But as far as UCLA and Gonzaga goes, like you said, who has beaten them in the full 40 minutes?
And
Now
no
they
one.
could beat them for 5-10 minutes, but defense is really going to matter in this one. And I just don't think UCLA plays as good as a team than Gonzaga does. Plus, you got to remember UCLA beat Michigan, but they beat them because Michigan kind of beat themselves without being able to get a bucket in the final 5 minutes. They missed their last 8 field goals. So
It was a crazy last few minutes.
Yeah.
Last minute, maybe.
I'm sure Michigan is beating themselves up after that one because
They had
they really had a chance. They really had a chance.
Second. But I think you're right, and I like to disagree just to make the picks a little more exciting. But you said Baylor Gonzaga. I think Baylor Gonzaga is going to be it. And although I'd like to see Grimes, I want to see a good national championship game. That's what we've been saying with Terrell too. That's what we've been saying. We all agree. And I hope that Baylor can give Gonzaga that good game that we've been waiting for, that neck and neck game in the championship game. That's why I think Baylor's going to win. That's not to say I don't think Houston can beat Baylor, but granted, Baylor is a good team this season. They have, refused to show up, a couple times. First loss was to Kansas, of course.
Mhm.
I know Twitter's going to be all over that, but they also lost to Cade Cunningham, right? So they've had to lose to top teams. You got to have a top coach. You got to have a top player. Houston's got a historic coach. Quentin Grimes, one of their best players. They got a good offense, like you said, a good defense too.
Mm-hmm.
The question for Houston's going to be, can they perform against top performance? I think that's going to be a very close game. I hope Gonzaga UCLA is really close. You need, how do you say his name? Jaquez on UCLA. You need him to ball out.
Vasquez? Wasn't Vasquez? It begins with a V?
No, it begins with a J, but they don't say the J.
Mm.
And of course, Johnny Juzang, maybe he needs to drop 30. I don't know. He is a baller, though. But what I noticed in the beginning of that Michigan game, Michigan was playing good defense because Juzang wasn't touching the ball. Remember what I was yelling at the TV? He needs to be touching the ball. And once he did, UCLA had 16 points, and 14 of it was from JJ. So I call him JJ. But they have 2 JJs, and Johnny Juzang and Jamie Jaquez. But they need to ball out, and they are going to ball out. They're going to have a game. But UCLA needs other people to show up. But I think there's enough of regurgitating that stuff. I think it's going to be Gonzaga, Baylor, and, Monday, I think we're going to be having a show so we can talk the championship game.
Could be remote, could be in person.
No, probably.
We're having a show.
Yeah.
What?
No, nothing. You said could be remote, so I'm starting to think it probably will be remote.
I'm just thinking of how
Just
Sunday goes because Sunday's Easter. Sunday's a familiar.
You're right. You gotta go home this Sunday, right?
Yeah, and I gotta work Sunday, so I gotta make up for time missed after work. Did you guys watch the Royals game last night? All four hours of it? I know I did. I'm waiting to see if anybody watched it. Anybody join on the opening day? The Royals hype?
Sure, some people did.
162-0.
106. They are on pace, right? They're 1-0. If you put that in a formula right now, they're gonna go 162-0.
They're gonna go 162-0. Let's see. Anybody watch the Royals game? No, Bibbs did not. I'm just kidding. He's just
lag, so they're gonna have to say. But why don't you talk a little about the
Royals game
I'm
from
looking at the standings right now. So okay, they're 1-0 with.
Hey man, it's just one game in the season.
Hey, I just
want
want
at the standings.
No, I just want to see who else lost in the AL Central yesterday. Indians lost, White Sox lost.
Yay!
Good.
Wait,
So the two teams that were predicted to be the bottom of the AL Central started off with a win yesterday. So that is a good sign for better things to come.
is
the rest of the
Manfred
season.
holding you hostage? You said something like Manfred is holding you hostage.
Holding me hostage?
I hope not.
I haven't said anything good about the. Yeah, he's holding the gun over here in the kitchen, making me talk about baseball. If anything, I'll talk about how I had to stream it from my laptop because it doesn't want to watch us to watch YouTube TV. What is that? What is the brand called? The B? It's a ball. The
Bally Sports.
Bally Sports.
Bally Sports, I don't know.
Bally Sports. Did anybody see the Cleveland post game show where the guy called the fan who had called into the post game an idiot? That part was I thought that
Hilarious.
was really funny. That's how you know it's baseball season, when people are already pissed after the first game. I think it was Sam Mellinger who tweeted yesterday that the Royals had been booed 15 minutes into their game, and that had broken a season record. Yeah, a franchise record. A lot of franchise records broken yesterday. I think Armand, you told me it was the longest game or longest opening day game in Royals history.
I think they said it was the longest game in Royals. 9-inning game in Royals history.
Yeah. That was the first opening day win for the Royals, maybe in a few years. I feel like they kind of. Trying to think, that 2015 year may have been the last time they had won on opening day, or 2014, whatever Rios' debut year with the Royals was. Yes, Arian, like the 2018 Chiefs, you get down early. And then you pull out all the big guns in the innings, and you make it a 15-10 ball game. Or 14-10, excuse me. That was crazy. The over was covered after the first inning. After the first inning, the cover for the game had already surpassed. 24 runs scored in that one. MLB blackouts and TV deals I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand why MLB makes it so hard for viewers. But you know what I really liked from the Royals game? Carlos Santana drew three walks. The Royals had 7 walks total in that game. They made the pitchers pitch.
That's what you want to happen.
That's what you want. That's what you want to happen. You want plate discipline for the Royals. And, Brad Keller shelled out in the first inning, but good thing both starting pitchers did. Yeah, Keller, just not a good showing for his first outing with 6 earned runs, gave up 9 hits, only pitched an inning and an out, gave up 2 walks. We'll see what happens. He's the type of kid that usually is better through the second or third time through the lineup. His first time through the lineup is historically not good. He just so happened. It's opening day. What can you expect from players in a 162 game season when the first game happens? What I liked that I saw though is that they were down 5-0 early and they didn't even sweat. They came back and tied it up within the first inning. So I mean, as long as the bats are there, especially in the bottom of the lineup, Michael Taylor and Kyle Isbell being those 7-8 guys that have did way better than I thought they were going to do in their opening day. Kyle Isbell being his MLB debut. Welcome to the show, Kyle. Michael Taylor looks like a solid arm in center field. I think he's going to be your guy, which is great. Keep Witt at second base. Hopefully Alberto Mondesi comes back fully healthy after this 10-day DL.
Curious he takes away Lopez, right?
What?
He takes away Lopez's
He does
spot?
take away Lopez. Yeah, because Lopez had started in the minors, but then once Mondesi went on the 10-day DL, they had to call him up, and he played shortstop yesterday. But as Denny Matthews says, if you got your shortstop and second baseman, your middle and infield, you want those guys to not be interchangeable. You want them to be your core. If there's going to be 2 players starting consistently at a position, it's going to be your shortstop and second base, which is why we were so lucky to have Escobar. Alcides Escobar start as many games as he did at shortstop for the Royals. Arian, how excited are we about Benintendi? I think he's a solid number 2 guy. maybe we'll see him and Taylor switch up in the later years if Taylor continues to bat better than him. But once again, that was just one game. I like having someone like Taylor in the bottom of the lineup, so you have someone there who can at least hit the baseball and get on base for when Witt comes up. But Benintendi, he made a mistake in the first ball that was hit to him by diving, and ball got past him, but he made it up for his foul ball catch that he had. I'm solid with him. Like I said, it's the first game of the season. 3 Witt hit is back.
Yeah, three hit Witt.
One of them being a home run. Him and Michael Taylor both went deep, and I think Soler even had one too, if I'm right. But
3 hit Witt. That's my favorite thing. 3 hit Witt.
3 hit Witt. I'm fine with Benintendi there because, like I said, he drew a walk yesterday, had a hit, was responsible for scoring 2 runs. I think that meat of the lineup though, where it's Santana, Perez, Soler, Dozier, that's where it's going to be a real problem. One thing that was said on the broadcast yesterday is the pitcher's not going to get a break with this Royals lineup, and sure enough, well, no pitcher's got a break yesterday, to be honest with you. But man, when you have the leader in home runs in the AL from last year, and Jorge Soler, Salvador Perez, who can get you a hit in the gap, Carlos Santana, very patient at the plate as your number 3 guy, and then Hunter Dozier didn't have a good showing yesterday, but we know what he can do at the plate. I think that's spectacular. And like I said, if Michael Taylor can be that guy at the bottom of the lineup, maybe it's not Isabel and Lopez who are having those games that they did yesterday, specifically Kyle Isabel having 3 hits. If Taylor is that consistent hitter down there, I feel like you only need one in that bottom of the lineup. But once again, your first 3 hitters are solid, and then your meat of the lineup are guys that can drive the ball deep or get it into the gap. But then that bottom lineup has been better than what we've seen in the past. Cousin Steffi, congrats on your Padres winning. They ended up pulling it out against the Diamondbacks then.
They ended up winning. I think they won by 1 then.
That's good. They should win. They've been spending all that money.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, the Mets signed Francisco Lindor to a pretty big contract yesterday.
Yeah, they won 8-7. The Padres did.
Boom.
I think the Diamondbacks had 6 in like the 6th inning. Yu Darvish. He played all right. You know, is this his first time on the Padres? I can't remember if he was on the Padres last year.
Yu Darvish? I don't think so. I think he was on. If
Darvish.
he was towards Darvish.
Yeah.
Yu Darvish. What did I say? Darvish?
Yeah, it's fine. He had 4 innings pitched for the Yu Darvish crowd. I think Brendan is a Yu Darvish guy, right? I think he likes him. I would see his tweets about when he was on the Cubs.
Yeah.
But
I think he was upset when they had let him go. But yes,
you know, he had 8 hits on him, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, but two home runs. So he's still a little shaky. My other guy, Shohei Ohtani, I think had 4 at bats, had 1 run, but had no hits. So, but he's rusty. He's coming off an injury, but a good spring training. Back to Royals, though, Marco. I kind of want to talk to you about these young prospects, right? We still have the team is full of some young guys, some top young guys, especially on the pitching side, but also in the minors. I'm looking at the top prospect rankings. You got people like Bobby Witt Jr. right on the hitting side.
Yeah.
Kyle Isbell, which you mentioned, who's on the team. Maybe Eric Pena, right? I'm going through the top 7. Nick Lofton, right? That's the top 7 of the batters. Those guys, and on the pitching side, you have Daniel Lynch, Asa Lacy, and Jackson Kowar. So I feel like the top 4: Witt, Lynch, Lacy, Kowar.
Mm-hmm.
Who are they going to be seeing some major time this season? And is it going to be quick?
Bobby Witt, we'll see it. I think he'll see it first before
Lynch, Lacy, and Kowar.
Before those guys do. Considering we didn't see Lynch and Kowar last year, I think especially now Hunter Dozier is day to day right now with an injury, so they're gonna have to call if he's not healthy. If he's not, they get a break today. There's no Royals game today, which another thing I understand with the MLB is the day after opening day you stop.
It seems like no some baseball teams games still play,
right?
Though, so I don't understand, but
I think we'll see. If anything, we will see if not Bobby Witt, it's gonna be
A shortstop, the next shortstop in the
probably
rankings is
no. I'm thinking pitching with Daniel Lynch, especially after you've seen yesterday's performance with the pitchers.
yeah.
Kowar Lynch would be the next guy. Asa Lacy, who was their fourth pick, in the draft last year, 2 years ago.
2 years
I
ago,
think they want-
2020.
I think
Or
they
maybe
want. I think
last
they
year.
want to keep him down there. But Jackson Kowar and Daniel Lynch are the developmental guys. Lacy, they said, was already an MLB, like Bobby Witt was already an MLB ready player. But I think we will. I think Bobby Witt, if he does what he did, if he shows out in the minors where he's at right now, he is a quick bring up because they've already seen what he can do kind of against a major league lineup this past spring training. So they just need that certified. All right, this kid is he can do it. If he can do it in the minors, he can do it in the majors, especially what we've already seen. They say Double-A is that area where players, that's where your make or break if you really are meant to go. If you really do cut the major league kind of cookie cutter, as the cookie cutter part of the whole process. And so Double-A is really where you learn if a player can play at the major league level or if he's meant to stay down in the single and Double-A area. But I think Bobby Witt will be the first one to come up. Don't be surprised if you see those three pitchers though come up later this year because, like I said, Asa Lacy already kind of a major league ready type of pitcher, left-handed, and then Jackson Kowar, Daniel Lynch, two guys who the Royals have been developing. I think Brady Singer though is on tap to start this next game tomorrow. Let me double check to make sure. If you guys want to see a young prospect,
Who played last year?
Had some
an
good
exciting
showings.
guy in college, right?
Yes. Let me see Royals.
But I'm looking at their prospect rankings on MLB.com, and it says, the two MLB guys you mentioned, Lacy and Witt Jr., it says their ETA, I'm assuming estimated time they hit majors, right?
Yeah, rival,
It's 2022, which is interesting because Lynch and Kowar, right? You said developmental guys. It says 2021. So I wonder if Royals are trying to hold back on those, the ready now guys, which I don't understand. But of course, it's just a website, so we don't know. But sounds like those top four guys are going to be called up before anyone else.
No, that's 2022 is the year where winning the division is the goal, and one that they believe is reachable. And you hear Brad Keller in his first conference before opening day, he said World Series is obviously the goal, but we got to be realistic too about the Royals. They are a wild card team at best, and that's still kind of a reach for this year. But you just never know. But 2022 is the year where the Royals are like, all right, we are division contenders because that's when you get the ETA for Bobby Witt and Asa Lacy. And then of course Singer, Kowar, Lynch have probably already. Lynch and Kowar specifically have already had a major league season underneath their belt. So yeah, next year is the year. But like I said, just don't be surprised, especially with injuries that happen at the major league level for this team. Yesterday, we got to see the backup third baseman Alberto come in. He may be the guy that fills Dozier's spot while he's day to day right now.
I think it's going to be Mike Minor.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Mike Minor is on the mound tomorrow for the Royals. I forgot that they had acquired him this offseason. So,
but Brady Singer will play Sunday. So
there you go. So still Minor, a lefty that you get to see tomorrow. Great, still good pitcher. Pitched well last year for the Rangers. Used to be on the Royals as well. But excited to see what happens tomorrow in the game that comes after opening day. I'm excited to watch that lineup again.
Me too. We finally have Raj in here, giving us breaking news. The Royals are batting .500 this season. But
they're also at a 1,000 winning percentage.
We also have our local high school scout, Arian, telling us that there's a Southwest guy who's pitching 98. I remember they once said there was a guy from the area when St. Thomas Aquinas was pitching 94. What happens? He gets drafted number 4.
No.
right? What was his name? It was when we graduated,
Uh,
2016.
Something about the Aquinas kid,
Aquinas
Riley
kid.
Pint,
Riley Pint, right? Got number 4,
went to the
got
Rockies.
some million to his name. And there were a few local guys. That year, there was a guy from my high school who got drafted number 6.
Very cool. There was a
But,
kid from Shawnee Mission East,
6th round.
6th round.
Not
Oh,
number 6, 6th round.
There was a kid that was drafted from Shawnee Mission East that year, also in the 1st round, I believe.
Well, Arian said this kid's doing 94. He's graduating this year. I don't know what that means for, he's just doing 94.
98.
98, sorry.
Even crazier.
Oh, he's committed to LSU.
So he's gonna do college ball unless I'm sure he'll see where he gets drafted. That's the thing that happens.
Might be a high draft pick. PG Perfect Games saying he's a potential very high draft pick. So this kid could go somewhere. Arian be a friend with him.
We saw Kyler Murray get drafted, but he chose football, obviously. Sometimes your draft picks don't work out.
Oh, Bibbs, what's the name of the guy who went to your middle school? He went to Rockhurst High School. A pitcher. He was going to go to Arkansas, but then I think he got drafted, had some ACL stuff. I forgot his name. You guys would always talk about him. I know he played football with some of the guys we knew.
Yes, Raj. Y'alls is the most annoying nickname for the Royals. That's how you know. That's how you know you found a bandwagon from the 2013-2016 year. Those are the same people who complained
You
about
hated y'all's.
I wrote an article on why y'all's was annoying as hell.
Tyler Benninghoff was a guy who also got drafted.
Gotcha.
Our year. Very late, I think, but the story behind that, I think they offered to pay for his ACL surgery. He was going to go to Arkansas. It seemed like he was a good player. Joey Wentz.
Yeah, he was the Shawnee Mission East kid.
Mission East kid. I remember they talk about him.
But yes, there was a KU pitcher that got drafted one year here
I think
too.
last year and I thought he got drafted in a good round too.
Yes, he did.
Maybe.
Yes, he did get drafted in a high round. But yes, y'all's is how you find. Those are the same people who were complaining that the Royals didn't make the World Series the year after they won it. In fact, the Royals didn't make the playoffs at all. So, what can you do, right? I feel like that term has kind of disappeared away because they gave up watching Royals baseball since they haven't been back to the playoffs since that World Series year. But that's how you know you found one of them. But man, we're approaching towards the end of this episode of Coffee's On. You guys got any final thoughts, questions heading into the weekend? I wish I could stay long. I wish we could go on longer, but I got to get back to KC today for some family business.
So we got Royals tomorrow. We got
we got Final Fours tonight and tomorrow night.
Yeah, so that's nice.
We'll have the national title preview for Monday's show. We'll recap the Royals series against the Rangers. Arian will make sure we have some first round draft picks. We'll make sure we do some. Ooh, yeah, that's interesting.
You are funny. You're really funny. I'm sorry, I didn't know him. I thought it was a ACL. Not ACL. I kept saying ACL. Tommy John.
Tommy John surgery?
It's UCL. Thank you. We have the real medical guy here. UCL. Butt-face Bibbs saying, you're right. That was my bad.
Bibbs.
That was my bad.
You say butt face a lot, but that one fits.
It was his AC joint out here while grabbing yours. Yeah, I thought it was the ulnar collateral ligament, huh? Ulnar collateral ligament, named after Mr. Tommy John.
Yep, look at that. Yeah, Tommy John himself.
Tommy John himself.
You know, there used to be a one-armed pitcher, right? That would he'd wear when he pitched, he'd wear his glove on where his arm wasn't, and then he would put it on. He'd go like after he pitched it so he could feel
Timmy
it.
James?
I don't know what his name is. I don't think it was Timmy James.
Yeah, Timmy James and Tommy John, the pitchers back in the day. The old squad.
Here with our 1920s mics.
Well, I thought it was
Old school mics.
I thought it was I kept saying ACL, but I meant Tommy John. So that's what I meant. I meant Tommy John. If it was his AC joint, I don't know. Ask Bibbs.
Your brother's
Bibbs
going to
is
call
the
you after the
insider.
show and have to explain it to you.
Yeah, if he can't explain it, good for him then. If he can't explain it, that's good.
Arian, you know what I'm getting you for your birthday or Christmas or whatever? Maybe I'll just get it to you for
His
your
birthday's
summer or your graduation
up,
gift. Is it not graduation this year?
Yeah.
For your grad gift, I'm getting you one of those skeletons that they had in the science rooms in high school. That
Jim Abbott.
he was the one-handed pitcher. Thank you, Danny, for that one. These mics, man.
These mics are cool.
No, but happy Easter for those who participate in the celebration of the Easter season. Happy Friday to everybody.
And a good Friday. A good Friday. It was a good Friday on Coffee's On, and it's a good Friday today to those who celebrate and everyone out here. Our
Yes.
Coffee's On, whether you're listening on the podcast, joining us live, or just enjoying the day. It's good weather, so get outside.
There you go. I know. I'll
Not
be
just
outside
today, but
today.
also for Easter egg hunting. You might have some of that with your family.
We do Easter egg.
Yeah. So now you got some kids. Oh, is Arnie going to be making his college decision on this show?
Maybe one
that's
day.
for maybe one day.
You better let us
Maybe
know.
one day.
I don't-
Sizde Bedar Mobarak. Okay, so it's the 13th day of the year. What? Remember I said 13th day of the new year, the Persian New Year.
Yeah.
They do a little festival. I guess that's
So that's
today.
today.
See, right, 20th. Well, happy 13th. Just say happy 13th day.
Happy 13th day. We'll see
Happy
you guys
13th.
back here Monday.
You did not get rejected everywhere. You got rejected at places that, it's not meant to be.
We might have to start doing a post Coffees On show where you guys talk to each other in the comments and we just watch the conversation.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later. Have a good rest of your weekend or start of your weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy the basketball, the baseball, and
For
whatever.
family time.
Been family time. There you go. Peace.